Here's a video about games I haven't visited in a while, right? So games I haven't visited or played in a while. I haven't really keeping a track of like with how many of these I did. I probably did like at least 4 of these right over the years. So this is most likely going to be part 5. The first one is going to be actually Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, which is a game that I am very familiar with, but I haven't played it like in a while. With the most recent Metal Gear Solid 3 remake or Metal Gear Solid Delta, right, coming out, right? That game, it looks like they took a lot from that game. They took a lot from this game in terms of the mechanics, the graphics, the gameplay, and I put it into that one, right? But it is obviously, that one is obviously like a remake of 3. So yeah, Phantom Pain. Probably in terms of mechanics, it is one of the most realistic games in terms of the mechanics, the movements, and the actions in a game ever that I've ever seen. But it is a game that I hope to replay soon, right? That's a Phantom Pain. One up here is going to be Daxter. So Daxter is another game which I did buy like 4 years ago, but I haven't played in at least 2 years. Daxter for the PSP. A very common PSP game, an adventure style game where you only play as Daxter, right? I do like these spin-off type games, right? Where, for example, if it's Ratchet and Clank and there'll only be Clank, right? The Clank Secret Agent one, even though that one I was kind of lacking, but it is kind of cool. Or the Ratchet Deadlock, where you only play as Ratchet. It only focuses on the Ratchet. So yeah, that is Daxter. And for a PSP game, this one is pretty cool and very unique. But I do have to revisit this game again. Another one is Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. It's basically like a first person kind of shooter with these weird kind of melee clashes right in between in some of the missions. Terminator 3, you gotta be careful like with any time there's a video game based on a movie, because they can be very good, they can be lacking, they can be very bad. This one I remember had problem because it is a very old game. It had problems like with lighting, right? When I last played it, and you do run out of bullets very quickly, right? So, but you're constantly taking on enemies, and so you basically play as it looks like kind of the Arnold, the T-800 before the events of Terminator 3, the movie. Dishonored 1, the original Dishonored. I am more familiar like with Dishonored 2, but Dishonored 1. Basically like a first person stealth game, and the second one I played is like it's a very fun stealth game. How the how strategic you can be like in the stealth. Basically like what was it, the 1800s, and there's like this assassination, and then your character gets blamed for it, right? Or they frame it on your character, and you gotta take down this evil conspiracy. And I remember it being very bloody. It had a rat swarm ability, so you could literally summon like a rat swarm to fight for you, right? That's the original Dishonored. I haven't played it in a while. I haven't played this one in a while. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is known for its difficulty, right? And tricky platforming, right? But beautiful. This game, I remember when I played it last, probably 3 years ago. This game is beautiful. Graphics, the visuals, the animations, the characters. They basically redesigned everything in terms of visual, a complete visual do-over, a complete, everything, right? The Insane Trilogy, which is basic 3 games in one, right? You can't beat that. So it's the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games remade. When I last played it, I did play some of 2, the one where you're in that the lab area, right? I think it's like, I can't remember. It's like a stage 9 or stage 10, right? But it is known for its difficulty. I died many times. If you remember, I don't know if you're familiar, the Sky Bridge mission. So the one where you're walking on the bridge, and you gotta there's those goats or boars. Sorry, turtles and those boars that literally come after you. Another one is Shadow of Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, which I did buy a month ago, but I originally had the game 5 years ago. So I had this game 5 years ago. I don't know what happened to it originally, but I was able to get this again for literally $7. Shadow of Mordor, it is based off of Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's, Lord of the Rings. And it's a melee kind of adventure open world game where you hunt down kind of the generals, I think, of orcs, right, in the world. and there's like a spirit, right? There's like a spirit side to the main character, which is pretty cool. The last two games, Midnight Club 1, the original Midnight Club, and Ratchet and Clank. I'll actually start off with the original Ratchet and Clank. This one I haven't played in a long while. I am familiar with the remake. I do know the remake very well, but I don't think I ever actually gotten much into the the original. I did play some of the original. Mainly because my PS2 over the last year hasn't been working, right? So, the Ratchet and Clank 1, the original, this is the very first Ratchet and Clank game, and you had Going Commando after it, you had Arsenal, you had other ones too as well, right? And the last game is Midnight Club 1. Midnight Club 1, I know 2 so well. Once I get my PS2 working, I want to play Midnight Club 1 again, right? There's Midnight Club 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's Adobe Edition Remix, which is also Midnight Club 3, right? Etc. So yeah, that's games I haven't revisited. Sorry, games I haven't played in a while. Please subscribe.